Hi. You know I love mountains. I love painting mountains. And I especially love the mountains in late spring, early summer, when everything's green and the flowers are blooming, but there's still snow on the peaks. In fact, that's where snow belongs, is up on the peaks, not in my front yard. And I wish that in my front yard would find a mountain peak somewhere to be. It seems intent on staying no matter what I say. But today I'm going to paint a mountain just because I like painting mountains. So let's paint. And I think today I want to fairly prodigious mountain, I guess. Let's see. I want one that goes like that. And I think, let's see. I think I'm going to have it come up and kind of break off on this side and then go down. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, there we go. Maybe this needs to be. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. I like that mountain. Let me grab a brush here and I want that to be a little sharper than that. Oh well. Brush kind of messed it up there a little bit. Okay. Folks, we need a sky. We need a sky before we do a mountain. Let's get a sky going. Before we do a mountain, Danny boy, you got to have a sky. Well, since I've got it the way it is now, I am going to have to have just kind of like an overcast sky. I'm not going to be able to do much with this. So, let me see what I can do here. That was an error. Let's see. I have maybe kind of look like it's overcast, maybe. And let's see. A few clouds somewhere. Yeah, that's going to have to do today. Can't do much about that. Got so excited about painting the mountain. Forgot to paint a sky. Oh well. It'll be all right. That's going to have to work. Once you make a mistake like that, there's not much you can do about it. Well, actually, there's a lot you can do about it, but I don't have time. I've only got 30 minutes here. That'll look a decent looking sky anyway. All right. Now let's see. I'm going to have to redo that mountain. I wanted a little bit sharper anyway. I did. I wanted a little bit sharper. Kind of like, there we go. Kind of like that. There we go. All right. Well, looks like I got a little knob over there too. Don't know that I wanted that much mountain in this painting, but I guess we got her now. Okay. I'm just going to kind of make sure it's all covered. So I got that black backdrop. Now I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to mix up a little bit of white and a little bit of black and just kind of have a variegation. Kind of, so it looks kind of like rocks or something. Kind of like that. Because I don't want snow all over this mountain. And I will have some trees climbing up it too, so. Yeah, something like that. I'll leave it dark leave it dark in that little ravine kind of thing right there. Yeah, I'm probably going to have more snow than that, but okay. I'm probably going to have more snow than that. All right, let's put some snow on it. Yeah, I think I want the peak snow covered. So let's do that. Oh, okay. Gonna have some black. Gotta get that black out of there. Okay. And I'm in your way here, so maybe just not have a whole lot of snow, but some. And I want that to be pretty sharply defined right there. I'm going to move over here. Okay, I got to fix that peak a bit. All right. You know what I like? I think I like that. Quite a bit of snow up top. Okay. I'm going to have a little bit of snow on this backside too. And I guess, but not a whole lot down in there because I don't want to. I like the way those rocks look, so I don't want to get rid of all of that. And maybe a dab right there. Not much. And I don't want that much right there either, for sure. Kind of make that look like it's all right. Because I kind of want that mountain to retain a little bit of that. Well, gonna have to fix that side over there. Right there. You know what? I think I'll live with that. Now let's have some trees way back there. Going up the side of this. I just want the indication of trees. I don't need to go that far because I'm going to have some stuff over there too. So on this side for sure. Kind of leave those brush strokes up there so, look, makes it look good in the painting, like there's trees growing all up through there. And these on this side, I think, probably need to be a little darker. Have a ridge right there, I think. Okay. Yeah, I don't want them going too far up into that hollow. Yeah, I can kind of feather the ends there. Now, you know what? I think I want foothills, but I want them to be lower. I'd like to see most of that mountain, so I need some foothills that are going to be lower. And quite a ways back there, I think. Okay, I'm going to have to brighten that up a little bit. Make it stand out against that mountain back there. And I want to variegate that a little bit so, it looks like there's some ripples and stuff. Now back there, I need to make that a little darker, I think. Let's back in there, because they're in the shadow. And then have the bright green in front here. Okay. Or brighter green. All right. Over there now, over on this other side, I'm going to want another hillside, and I want it back there quite a ways too, I think. And before I go too far here, I want this mostly to be a meadow, but you know what? I'm going to want some water. I don't know how much. I don't know how much water I'm going to want, but I am going to want some water. Probably somewhere in there, I guess. Okay. Now let's see, I'm going to need I want to have meadow back there. Actually, I think I want that to just kind of like that, maybe. Get a little closer before I... Yeah. Get a little closer before I delineate that meadow too much. Okay. Let's see. Man, I told you I love painting mountains because I love the mountains. I was born and raised in the mountains of Idaho, and I followed my grandfather all over those mountains, and my dad, my uncles, my older brothers, and my grandfather and my dad, they both taught me a lot. Grandfather knew a lot about the mountains, and my dad had an unerring sense of direction. My older brothers always kind of hoped I would turn into grizzly bear feces. In fact, they were fond of telling me that I probably would never amount to much more than that which, a grizzly left after his last meal. And they've been mostly right. Now they're good brothers. My brothers are good brothers. Very good brothers. Okay. Well, it's kind of coming together. Tell you what, though, I think I need some trees to be delineated here on this side, and that needs to go back in there a ways. Yeah, I need some trees delineated here. So let me throw that brush over there, I guess. Thought I was going to pick it up, side throw it. Okay, let's have some trees that are more delineated here on this. Because that's going to be a little closer. Yeah, like that. That'll work. Now, I'm going to have, I think, some larger trees on this side. I don't know how many. Probably maybe just one. So you know what? I need to go a little further, don't I? Let's go a little further. Come down into the meadow a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to want some tree. I think one tree over here, and I'm going to want the color, but I don't want all this paint. So I'm going to scrape off enough that I can keep the color behind there, but not have all that paint on there interfering with what I want to do. Okay, let's clean up the bottom of that meadow, or those trees, I mean. Kind of want to drag some out to kind of make it, yeah, like that. Okay, okay. Get that off there. All right. Now let's, well, for one thing, let me get some more green out. I think I want to use this right here. And, you know, first of all, what I want to do first, I think, is I want to, well, here, I'm going to have to put some green color behind my tree here, too. Or it's not going to look right. Okay. Now I'm going to have a trunk come down. Kind of want it to be, I don't know, gray and a little bit of brown. Yeah. I think I want this to be a pretty large tree and fairly close to the viewer here. So I'm going to have to thin out that paint a little bit. Okay. Okay. Now, okay. Let me get some limbs on this thing here and there. I don't want them to be quite that big. I want them to be more smaller and maybe a little more clearly defined than that. And I want to have some of these, like these dead ones at the bottom. Oh, I want them to be thinner than that. In fact, I want them to be quite thin. Let's try this other brush here. See if we can get some smaller ones. No, that didn't work either. I guess this is the smallest brush. Just got to do it slower, I guess. Use the point more. That's not really working out like I wanted. I want to get some color on this trunk too. Just a little. If I don't hurry up here, I'm going to run out of time and not have this tree done. Well, let's just try to put some white in it to make it stand out. Let's just do that. And hope that it kind of looks like. Oh, that's got to be good enough. I'm going to get this done. I'm going to run out of time if I don't get it done. Okay. That's going to be a big tree, so I'm going to start him way up there. Steady away here. Hope a little bit of that trunk will show through in spots. And I want it to go out all the way over there where I cut that off, so. I got to delineate that trunk a little better. I don't like that. I just don't like that. So I'm going to do this. All right. Now, you know what I need? I need, well, for one thing, gonna need a little tree over here too. Just stand out here in the meadow. And I'm gonna need some of this stuff to make it look like there's grasses or whatever growing right up to the I need some dark stuff in there, some brush that grows here and there in the meadow, just to variegate it a little bit. Kind of like that. On this side too. I don't want that to be too noticeable over there. Okay, I better hurry here. I'm gonna put, let's see, gonna have, I think this thing's just gonna have kind of a mud bank. Gonna be muddy. Okay, and let's pull that down in the water. I don't know what this is over here. I guess it's some kind of, let's see, let's use this one. I guess this is some kind of, I don't know if it's a little stream or what. I'm gonna have some more of that dark brush coming up to the edge. Places I need some. Clean up that edge of that. And have that going back there. And maybe maybe kind of have it look like there might be, like this stream might go a little further back up in there somewhere. Now let's get the knife and clean up the bottom of that. And like I said, I don't really know what this is, so I don't know if it's a little stream or what. I think I'm gonna have it disappear behind the brush up here. Okay. Oh, and I gotta darken this up at the front here a little bit. Now I'll tell you something else. Got about 3 or 4 minutes here. We have some other color brush in here. I'll tell you what. Why don't we, I still would like to get, doggone it, I would like to get, I can't get this brush to work. I bought some new brushes and I'm not all that happy with them. Ah, well. Ah, that's better. That's what I needed to do. Okay. That's going to be fine, although I suppose I ought to put a little bit of highlight on this tree just in spots, just a little bit, not much. Okay. In the 2 minutes I got left, I'm going to use this brush, I think. I want some flowers in this meadow. Let's have some white flowers. If I can get this to work, that is. You know, one time, my brothers and I, all 3 of us were riding the back of my grandfather's truck. We were doing huckleberries. And let's have some other colors too. Got a minute left. And he told us that his tailgate was down. Old truck he had a long time ago. And he told us, he said, now you boys, you step near the cab. Don't you get back in that tailgate. Well, you know how boys are. Or at least how we were. As we went up around this old logging road, we thought he was concentrating on his driving and didn't know what we were doing. We decided that we would get back and get on the tailgate because it looked like more fun. Well, after about 3 or 4 minutes, my grandfather hit a bump in that old logging road and out we bounced. And he kept going, went around the corner. Now I know now that he knew we'd bounced us out. He was object lesson, but he went up and out of the corner and out of sight. So there we are standing in this road wondering, what now? Grandpa's gone and we're all stranded in the woods. And this little spot of color here. What about that? Right here. And maybe right there. Well, then we heard a growl up in the woods. Grandpa had told us, now boys, this is bear country. You don't want to fall out here. Well, we heard a growl from up the hill. And we took our fun up the road. And of course, about that time, our grandfather came down over the hill. And he's the one who'd been doing the growling. And he said, what'd I tell you boys? What'd I tell you boys about? Oh, all right, we're done. What'd I tell you boys about riding in the bumper on the tailgate? Well, we decided not to do it anymore. I'm going to sign this real quick. We decided we wouldn't do that anymore. Smart man, my grandfather. And this is 15. Okay. Don't need those. Well, thanks for joining me to paint a big mountain. I like mountains, as I told you. Now listen, I really want to thank you for watching, and please come back and join me next time. I'll be doing another one real soon. In the meantime, God bless and you take care.